fundamentals of association. The fundamentals of association. That is very important, that in our day-to-day operations that we cannot do everything on our own, and as a result of that, the effort of others will be a serious demand, and that we will always need the effort and the energy, the strength, the capacity of others in order for us to be able to achieve our daily demands, achieve our visions, achieve our goals, and then become who you want to become. That is to say, that you cannot become the fullness of your makeup until you have the effort of others. That is to say, that for you to be able to ascend to certain standards and certain heights in life, you will need the strength and the help of others. So having connection with people is very important when it comes to the affairs and the operations of life. That is to say, that you cannot achieve as much as you are supposed to achieve if you do not understand the accuracy of connectivity, that you are supposed to get yourself connected to certain people in order to arrive at certain stages of life. And the kind of season we find ourselves in is a crucial season which lays more emphasis on connectivity, that when you are not duly connected, you are not going to have certain opportunities available to you. So right now, everybody is trying to find space for who is connected. So connectivity in this dispensation is very important, and that as human of this generation, you have to understand the concept, the fundamentals of association. So in understanding the connectivity, the works that are involved in arriving at a place of connectivity, you would have to come to a place of conclusion that certain precepts of the connectivity agenda needs to be laid accurately for you to know your steps in order for you to achieve your vision and your mission. And so therefore, getting yourself associated to certain kind of people is very important. So the act of association, the practice of associating yourself with people is a must if you want to become a great person. So associations are meant to achieve a purpose and a vision. So I would like us to go through certain key points when it comes to association. That is one. Associations are formed with motives. So as to whether you want to get yourself in contact with a group of people or an individual, that association is based on an agenda, is based on a vision, is based on a motive. That means that no association that does not have a motive, that does not have a vision, and does not have an ambition lasts. So any association you engage yourself in that you don't see a future in it isn't going to last. So, associations are formed with a motive of achieving. Achieving what? Achieving what? What exactly do you want to achieve? So before you enter into any association with a group, any association with a personality, you should ask yourself these questions. Why should I associate myself with this person or with this group of people? Why should I? Who is this person I am associating with? Who is this person I am getting connected with? And why this person? Who is this person that I feel within me that I have to get connected to? Who is he? What is his vision? What is his ambition? What is he going to achieve that demands my involvement, which is going to help me achieve my vision? Because in the law of association, it has to deal with agreement. That you agree to his ambitions and he agrees to your ambition. Now, for there to be that correlation, it means that there is one definite goal that describes and projects the vision of both parties. So when you don't have a vision, that means that when you associate yourself with a visionary and a visionary, you are going to be used and dumped. So you hear, a lot of people, say, I was used and being dumped and all that. That means that you entered into the relationship without a vision. If you are able to set your vision clear and knowing the vision of the other person from the other side, your actions would be defined clearly, and as a result of that, you'll be able to achieve whatsoever you want to achieve before the end of that relationship. That is to say that when you understand the essence of your connectivity to someone or to a group of people, you remain focused in attaining the standard that you have set for the connectivity you have engaged yourself in. So visionary people, when found in an association, does not leave the association without a result, because they are in the relationship in order to deliver. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So when you want to be in a relationship with anyone, clearly define your vision. Clearly define what you want to achieve. Clearly define something about yourself. And some of the questions you're supposed to ask yourself is, who am I? What am I going to achieve? What is my target? What is my vision? If you are able to define these three questions and you are able to provide the necessary answers to those questions, you will know that you are on the right path. Because most people get themselves involved with relationships that does not yield to any result for them because they don't know certain essences that they are supposed to know before engaging themselves in the relationship. Every relationship has a motive. Every relationship has an ambition and a vision. That is to say, if you don't have a vision for the relationship, the other party has. And when it happens that way, the time you have your eyes open to see that you didn't benefit from the relationship, and you begin to say that the relationship you went in, you were used, and then you know that is a fault from you. When you fail to have a vision, someone will have a vision and include you in that vision. So don't be a food to someone's table. Dine with people on the table. Associations are formed with motives. To be part of an association, that is true. To be part of an association, you have to buy in motives. So you have a motive, but you have to understand that in order for you to connect with someone, you are supposed to accept their perception. You are supposed to accept their mindset. That means that if you understand your vision, you don't associate yourself with everybody, because it's not everybody's vision that connects to your own. So you have your vision defined, and you have the vision of the opponent also defined, and as a result of that, you will be able to connect and achieve something bigger and better. So when you become part of an association and you don't want to buy in to the motive of the other participants, it means that that association cannot stand, because there will be a contention of agreement. And the fact that you have started a relationship, if you cannot keep the ordinances to keep the relationship strong, the relationship will break down, will break loose. So it takes energy, it takes understanding, and it takes capacity in order to arrive at a place of greatness when it comes to association. If you understand the pathways of the association, that you have to agree to yourself and also accept the motives and the intentions of the other party. Point number 3, being part of an association makes you a vision carrier of the association. That is why you're supposed to be very careful with who you connect and relate with. Because immediately you accept to relate and connect with them, it means that you have to carry their vision. So in carrying the vision of someone should be your vision. So when you are not associating with people with similar vision, it means that you cannot achieve anything, and so therefore you will be used and damned. So your vision should be clearly defined and exposed. When you are able to ascertain that standard, you will know who should be connected to you, who should be part of your process to greatness, who should be part of your journey, who should be part of your pathways. When you are able to define where you are going, you will know the kind of people that you are supposed to relate with to get to that destination. So when your destination is not defined, you will just move with anybody. Because immediately you connect to any group, with any person, you have to become a carrier of that person or that institution's vision. And this is what most people do not understand, and so therefore their relationships cannot hold. So when you agree to be part of an institution, to work with an institution, it means that you have accepted to help the institution achieve her aim, her objective. And so therefore when you stand against the aim and objective of the institution, you have to be taken out. I believe you are getting what I'm trying to say. So to be part of an institution means that you are a carrier of the vision of the institution. The laws of an association binds all members. So when you become part of an association, you would be bound by the laws and the ordinances of that association. So if you are entering into an association, you have to be responsible. That is to say that irresponsible people cannot associate. Because your loyalty will be demanded. Your effort will be demanded. So there will be so much demand on you. So if you don't want to release, then you shouldn't accept being part of any association, either to an organization or an individual. Associations influence the character and lifestyle of members. And this is a key point that you are supposed to take note of. It's very key and it's very important. It's very, very important. Because when you come into an associating agreement, you are supposed to be affected by it. You are supposed to be affected by it. So when you have not understood that concept of being affected by the association you are entering, then you are far behind. Because you are supposed to understand that when you find yourself among wrong association, you will begin to give a result that does not conform to the orderliness that you know and you are aware of. That means that when you are deviating in your association, you are deviating from your vision. When you are not making connectivity with accuracy, you are deviating from your mission and your purpose. And so therefore, getting the right association and getting the right people around you and getting connected to right people and the accurate people is very important. So you don't just have to stand up and get into contact with people. No. Ascertain their lifestyle. Know them before you conclude to relate with them. Know them before you conclude to relate with them. Because when you fail to know the kind of people you are relating with, you end up in trouble. There are people that have lost a whole lot because they entered into some contractual deals, some contractual agreements with people they did not know. In order for you to have an engagement with people, consider their integrity. Consider the integrity of the people before you enter into any relationship with them. Don't rush in making friends. Don't rush in making business partners. Don't rush in collaborating with people to make a peace. Don't rush in making connectivity. Know the kind of people you are engaging with. Know the kind of people you are relating with. And then you will be saved.